Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to download an operating system from the DreamSpark website and install it onto VMware Workstation Pro. This would work for Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows Server, pretty much any operating system. It doesn't have to be Windows, but I'm going to show you specifically Windows 7 here on this particular video. To get onto the DreamSpark site, you should have got an email, and the email will come from Bismarck State College, it will look like, and it will say an account has been created for you. You click on that email and it will show you BSC's logo here, and it will say welcome, and there's a link where you need to click to complete your registration. So you can go ahead and click on that link to complete the registration, and it will have you fill out your information. So I'll do that here quick. Create a password. And note that your username is going to be your email address, and for everybody it should be their BSC email, and then whatever password you select. And then you have some options here about receiving communication. If you want to receive that, you sure can. Do the CAPTCHA so you can verify that you are a real human being. And then go ahead and click register. Okay, when you get logged in here, you will see this screen with all of the software. Please note that if you come to this website without logging in, you aren't going to see anything. So let me just sign out here and show you what I'm talking about. If I just go to this website, right now I'm not logged in, so I don't see anything. Once I log in here, now I can see all of the software that's available to me. This first page is just showing the featured, but there are a bunch of other ones that you guys all have access to. I'm going to go grab Windows 7, and for Windows 7 there's going to be a few different options for you. We'll just go with the Windows 7 Professional 32 and 64-bit. You add it to the cart. This is sort of like checking out. Tries to give you some bonus offers and see if you want a backup disk. You do not need any of that. I'm going to get that out of the cart, and I'm going to go ahead and check out. Now when you check out, it gives you your download options. It also gives you your key right down here along the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and click download your software, and for most of you guys, you will do this step number 1 first. Step number 1 downloads and installs the software that's needed to grab the Windows 7 ISO. So I hit next, and I would go through this installation. Once that installation is complete, I can then proceed over to step number 2. Step number 2 is going to download a .sdx file, and that .sdx file, once it gets downloaded, gets opened up with that program that you just installed. So here's my .sdx. I'm using Chrome, by the way. Here's my .sdx. When I open that up, it opens up the secure download manager and allows me to download my software. I'm going to be downloading the 64-bit version here of Windows 7. So I hit start download, about 2 gigs in size, and it will start that download. When it gets done downloading, it's going to download as a .iso file. An ISO file is basically an image of a DVD, and I can see here where it's downloading to. Okay, and I can change that if I want to. So going back to the DreamSpark site, here's my key I need to take note of. There's the download link, which takes me here. For all subsequent software downloads from this site, you don't have to worry about step 1 because you would already have it installed. You can just do step 2 to download the .sdx, which starts the download manager for that particular program that you purchased. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that this download has finished. So I'm going to go into my downloads folder, and inside of here I got a bunch of files, but inside of here what I would find is a folder called Windows 7, and inside of that Windows 7 folder I would see my ISO. Okay, I had to resort here, but here's my Windows 7 Professional folder. And inside of that, I see my Windows 7 ISO file. So now what the heck do you do with this ISO file? Well, there's a few things you can do with an ISO. You can burn it to a disk if you needed to install on an actual physical machine. We aren't doing that for the purposes of class or for this video. You could also mount it, and mounting it would mount it as a simulated DVD drive, and you could see the contents of it. Again, we aren't doing that for the purpose of this video or class, so I'm going to eject that. What we want to do with that ISO is we want to use VMware Workstation Pro to install Windows 7. So you need Windows VMware Workstation Pro in order to do this. So what you do is you go back to the DreamSpark site, go back to the home here, and right along the bottom blue bar here we see VMware. We want VMware Workstation 12 as of this video, that's the latest one. So we go ahead and we click on that. We add it to our cart and purchase it just like we did the Windows 7. Again, when you check out, notice it's going to give you a key. You will need that key to install, and you can download your software. This one's a little bit different with the SDX and SDC files are not there. It just gives us a straight download link, so we click on that and it downloads a .exe for us. I have already downloaded and installed it, but you will, once it's done downloading, just click on it and run through the installation. You can basically just click next, 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 all of the defaults. Once you get it installed on your desktop, you are going to have a new icon that looks like this, VMware Workstation Pro. So you double click on it, it starts up the program, and you go to File and you do a new virtual machine. It runs you through a little wizard, and we will just choose a typical install. It asks us, how do we want to install the operating system? Well, we want to install from a disk image, our ISO that we downloaded. So I choose that option, and I browse for my Windows 7 ISO or whatever ISO you are trying to use to install the operating system. So I browse my Windows 7 ISO, it picks up that Windows 7 64-bit is detected, and it's going to use a process known as easy install. If for whatever reason it does not pick up that it's Windows 7, that is probably just fine. What would happen is on the next screen you would just have to select which OS you are installing manually. But when it easy detects, it allows the installation to go a little bit faster and it automatically picks that next option for you. So I click next here, it has me put in my product key. Again, where did I get that product key? It was back on that DreamSpark site. If you didn't write it down, what you can do is you can go back to the home of the DreamSpark site. Under your down arrow you have your accounts/orders. You can click on your order and you will see the key. I just copy and paste it into here. I choose the version that I want to install. Most often for class you have to select the Windows 7 Professional, and then it asks you to personalize it. So I'll just use my Frelick user. I hit next, give the machine a name. I'll choose the default here, but if you want to rename it you can. If you'd want to store it in any other location you can do that here as well. But I will just choose the defaults. When you get to this page about setting the disk, you can just click next. If you don't have quite enough storage space on your machine, you can probably get away with 30 gigs for Windows 7, and then how you're storing the machine really does not matter. You can go ahead and click next. And this just gives you a little rundown about what you're setting up. If you want to customize anything, you can choose that. But we don't need to, usually for class. We just hit finish. It creates the disk, it's going to power on the virtual machine, and then the installation will start. So again, just a quick recap of what you need is you need to get onto the DreamSpark site. On the DreamSpark site, you go and you purchase your ISO. You download that. And then also on that DreamSpark site, you need to, if you don't have already, Go to the VMware tab and get VMware Workstation 12, download and install that. Once you have VMware Workstation, start it up, do a new virtual machine under the file, basically run through the wizard by clicking next, next, next. The only thing you really have to change is browsing to where your ISO is located. After it creates the disk and powers up, again, that's when it will start the installation. So here it goes for me. You can see it's loading the Windows file. And in just a couple seconds, I will get to that Windows installation screen where it asks me, where do I want to install Windows, which language, and all of those different options. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight into how to work with an ISO with VMware, where to find those files, how to download them, and those sorts of things. If you have additional questions or get stuck, please don't hesitate to ask. Shoot me an email, give me a call, and I will help you through. Thanks for watching.